That's a great idea. Better write this down before I forget.
Ever have one of those moments where you got a brilliant idea, but by the time you find a pen and paper to capture it, the moment is gone?
Where's my pen?
Or perhaps when you're in a meeting and the person you're talking to says something really important, but you can't find that pen and paper. Well, we can say goodbye to that problem now. This is the PLAUD NotePin, which can help you capture all those genius ideas without any of the stress. Come with me. Today I've got something that's been making my very busy life a whole lot simpler. This little wearable recorder may look simple, but it's packed with features that make capturing ideas, meetings and conversations an absolute breeze. And just to show you how convenient this is, I'm just gonna go here into like a 2-hour meeting, and just with one button, just one click, generate, it will turn those hours of recording into something that's been professionally summarized. I love this, it's really gonna boost your productivity. And something really cool they've got here as well is something called speaker labels when you're doing the transcription. You basically make a transcription even more professional, even more organized with the actual names of the people who are talking. Now the NotePin can be worn as a clip, that's my favorite way, as a watch, or even as a necklace. With a simple press on the device itself, you can start the recording instantly, no fumbling with apps or buttons on your phone or anything like that. One vibration means that you started the recording, and when you press it again, it stops and it will give you 2 vibrations at that point. Very simple, right? And that's what I love about it. It just fits into your day without getting in the way at all. You can clip it into your clothing like this and simply go about your day for hours. I'll talk about battery in a moment. It's got 64 gig of local storage and can record continuously for up to 20 hours. And with USB charging, this is the little dock for it here, you're ready to go again in no time. I've been using the NotePin during long meetings, those like tedious meetings that sometimes, you want to pay attention to the meeting, but you don't want to really lose concentration by taking notes. I've also used for important conversations as well, even while I'm on the go, taking the dog for a walk, for example, as you saw earlier, or even driving to work. My favorite time of the day is in the morning. I've got a fresh head and I'm kind of having lots of ideas about things. And usually, I'm not embarrassed to say this, I'm talking to myself. Now I'm talking to this and it's recording my ideas. And at the end of the day, I might even forget some ideas that I had, which were brilliant, not always, but it's now completely recorded and summarized as well for me. Honestly, it's one of those devices that makes me wonder, how did I manage without it? It's like having a personal assistant that doesn't ask for coffee breaks. You might be wondering, who is the NotePin for? After a few weeks, I came to realize that this is basically for people on the move, like sales professionals, engineers, technicians, but many more like people in healthcare as well, and obviously creatives. And one of the biggest selling points for me is how PLAUD NotePin makes just your workflow a lot simpler, right? It doesn't involve you kind of fiddling with stuff, it's just one button and it captures everything. No joke, it literally means that I can say goodbye to those mundane tasks like scribbling notes and trying to remember the key points of a meeting later, I still do enjoy scribbling during meetings and, doodling sometimes. It helps my memory, but I can now do that with the confidence that everything is being recorded and actually captured as well, and more importantly, organized for me. And the summary that it produces really reinforces that conversation in my brain in a way that my own notes could never really do it, This thing handles all of that for you, leaving you free to focus on what really matters, right? You can pretty much not lose concentration in the meeting or in the seminar or in the lecture. And it's not just about convenience. Any product for me that saves time, is worth my attention. The funny thing is, I forgot that I was wearing this the other day, kind of just left it in my clothing, and I picked up later and I was like, I found some really useful information that I had completely forgotten about. It's things like dates and times and actions. The app automatically categorizes all of those things for you into really neatly actions or reminders, to-do lists, even a mind map. Now, an awesome feature that you've got here as well is that after you summarize your conversation or your meeting or whatever it is, you can automatically add things like using Ask AI. You can automatically create to-dos. You can rewrite the format. You can extract key metrics that was discussed, conclusions, or you can just in plain English ask AI, something that happened in that conversation that you want to know about. Really, really useful. For me, not just as a content creator, which is probably what you know me for, right? Outside of YouTube, I'm a tech consultant, so I spend a lot of time in meetings, in traveling for work. So in my 9-to-5 job, capturing ideas, especially when I'm on the go, is huge. Because, I have to juggle things. I could be mid-run as well, at the gym or whatever, or walking my dog, as you saw earlier. When that bit of inspiration hits, not very often, I have to be honest, but I just press the NotePin now and that idea is captured. I can go in the app much later or even the next day and summarize it and get organized and put things into my app or share that with someone. No stress, no hassle. It even uses AI, either ChatGPT 4.0 or Claude 3.5 to transcribe and summarize everything. You know what's funny? The more I use the NotePin, the more I realize that there are so many different ways that I haven't even discovered yet. While I was dog walking yesterday and doing some, filming for this video, I was actually listening to Liverpool versus Arsenal, a football match, a soccer match if you're in the US. And I was just kind of in the background, it wasn't really that loud because I was trying to record as well. But one of the things that the recording did was summarize the actual player performances and things like that was being said in the radio. That is amazing because that's another way that you could use this for, right? If you don't have time to listen to something, or it could be a TV show, it could be a sports match. Just another idea, right, for using this. The NotePin doesn't stop there, right? It doesn't do just transcribing, because a lot of things can do that these days. As I said, I sometimes just talk to myself about ideas, and it turns those really raw thoughts that you probably didn't even finish the thought into actionable insights. It's brilliant. It's like having an assistant that works for you, truly helping you throughout your day, making you more efficient. So whether it's work meetings, conferences, seminars, lectures if you're a student, right, or just your thoughts, you're always organized and on top of things. Worth its weight in gold for me, Now what you might notice is that, especially in long recordings, that there's a lot of silence and the transcription could take a little bit longer to do those. PLAUD just released a new feature called Smart Clip, and what that does is it detects those silence moments and removes them for you. And to do that, just come here on the app, and all you gotta do and select Smart Audio Trimming, and then click Continue for Smart Clip to do its thing. In some busy days, and this happens with me a lot, is sometimes you might have multiple meetings about the same subject, but instead of having to transcribe multiple different files, what you can do now is merge the files so that they become one transcription. Very easy to do that. All you gotta do is swipe left on each file that you want to merge, and then click Merge. It has plenty of integrations as well and different ways in which to share this transcript. So you really don't need to get rid of your current apps. In fact, those current apps that you've got, like to-do lists and other things, can be enriched by this, right? Because now you can put proper information into them. For me, I've been using this for the last 2-3 videos actually. I've been thinking about my ideas about the videos, maybe a scene that I was thinking about, or a thought, or even just feedback about the product that I'm reviewing. The transcripts of my ideas just came into Ulysses, but rather than kind of starting from scratch, I just pasted the entire organized thoughts of my ideas into Ulysses, and all I did was then expand on those ideas when I'm writing. If you do a lot of writing, this is a brilliant way to get organized and get started on your article or your video, or whatever it might be that you're writing about. It could be a presentation, for example. This is a perfect way to get you started, right? Sometimes you might be stuck in an idea and you don't know where to start. Just talk, and then get this to summarize it for you and organize it. It saves a lot of time just getting started on your project. I mentioned this mind map summary earlier. Initially I thought, that's just a gimmick, right? But this is where actually things got really interesting, because I found you can't, it will generate one anyway for you automatically. But I found it's best when it's kind of, for brainstorming sessions. You can just throw ideas on the table, right? And then you can then see how ideas start to connect. For someone like me who's juggling multiple projects at the same time, this feature has been super helpful. I can take the chaotic nature of my head and turn them into something that is organized and something that I can actually then go after and get it done, more importantly, right? Just be more productive. Now let's talk about how flexible this NotePin is, right? There are even multiple templates already for transcription. You can select the language as well of the recording. You probably noticed my dodgy accent. I'm originally from Brazil, and I have a second channel, tech channel as well in Brazilian Portuguese. The NotePin is helping me in both languages now, which is great. In fact, right now it supports 59 languages. Honestly, it's one of those things that the more I use, the more I love. And it's not just the mobile experience that I'm showing you here. There's a web app as well called PLAUD Web that when you want to review or edit your recordings as well on a desktop, with a bigger screen, you can do that so you're not stuck to the mobile all the time. That's pretty useful. Plus, there's no stress about accessories either, right? You don't have to go out and buy extra additional things, right? Personally, I've got to be honest here, I prefer this clip, because it's magnetic. It just feels better for me using this way. That's just how I prefer it. But if you prefer to wear it on your wrist, that's also kind of out of your way. It's very light as well. The necklace, again, can be hidden under your clothing. The microphone on this actually is absolutely brilliant. Sometimes, I might be in traffic noise or whatever, and I don't want to look weird on the street just talking to myself, but I just whisper to it and it will capture everything, even with those background noise. do you think people would be inclined to pay more if Apple gave us, for example, an OLED display? There are different colors too, the Cosmic Gray, Lunar Silver and Sunset Purple. I think what really sets the NotePin apart is that it frees up your time and your hands to focus on things that matter, right? Could you do some of these things with your mobile phone or your tablet? Sure. But the fact that I can do all of that so much more easily just by literally, with one press, without unlocking my phone, I mean, it could be out on a rain or something, right? No need for opening any apps or whatever. That alone, that convenience, is priceless for me. So whether you yourself are looking to simplify your work or just, get some time back in your day as well, or both, the NotePin has got you covered. I've talked about the issue with AI generated stuff before, and there are some issues with AI that I still worry sometimes, but this here is a great example of, when AI can be extremely useful. It's very reliable too. One day I forgot I was wearing it and it's literally recorded the entire day. And at the end of it, it still had some juice left for another few hours, in the next day. Is it perfect though? No. There's a couple of things that could be better. I think the hardware is pretty much perfect, but I'd love the app to have more automation options because it's, everything's AI. I'd like to see more of those automation features and also have more templates as well. I know this is something they're working on, right? It's all software and it's constantly evolving, but I'd love to see templates and workflows that would then just automatically, for example, go into your Outlook or your Google Calendar events or adding to-do items to your favorite to-do app without you having to copy things. I'd love to see those things in the app, in a way that you can just add to your phone or whatever. Look, at the end of the day, it's all about finding tools that make your life easier. And for me, NotePin does exactly that. I genuinely love reviewing something when I actually don't see myself as getting rid of it or doing a giveaway. I mean, I could, but I actually want to use this, myself on a day-to-day. It's not flashy, but it's practical and it just works. Anything that saves time for me is a win in my book. There's a link in the description to the NotePin and in the pinned comment. See what I did there? And if you're watching this from a TV, you can just scan the QR code here as well. And thanks so much, PLAUD, for sponsoring this video. And thank you for watching it. See you soon.